Friends, you may be seated. Good morning, saints.
Good morning.
And welcome to worship on this glorious Sunday morning here in the historic sanctuary of the Fountain Street Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This church has stood here firm like a rock, planted in the center of this city as the beating heart of this community. And I want to welcome you, whether you're joining us in person today or you're joining us online, you are welcome here, and this church is here for you. My name is Nathan Dannison. I'm absolutely delighted to be serving as the interim minister here at Fountain Street Church, and I want to welcome you. And I am your interim minister. I am here to bring you safely through the next 2 years as we do a little bit of work together, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a couple of very brief announcements before we continue our worship service today. We have so much happening in the life of this congregation that I want to encourage you to always visit the church website at fountainstreet.org or reach out to us at the church if you have questions. But Art Prize is coming to Fountain Street Church once again. From September 13th through September 28th, we will be hosts to 27 exhibits for the Art Prize celebration. That's unbelievable. Can we show our appreciation to the Art Prize team for that effort? The art committee and the Art Prize team has selected the Divine Feminine to be our theme for Art Prize this year. And so we have taken that theme, and from it we will springboard into worship. The Divine Feminine will be our theme for all of our worship services this year throughout the church. And so I hope that you will find deeper and richer meaning as we explore those ideas together from the countless traditions that come through the doors of this church. I want to let folks know that we've got some other amazing events coming up. On September 19th, the grandmothers will be giving a presentation here at the church, and more information about the important work that they do is available in the church lobby. Also, we've got a concert coming on September 21st that I am really pumped about. Flamey Grant is going to be bringing her worship service here to the church. Flamey is a drag queen and a worship leader from the South who has launched a 32-city tour. It is called the No Trauma Church Tour, and I hope that you will be here to participate as well. And by God, if that isn't an expression of the Divine Feminine, it is going to be perfect. And so I specifically set up September 22nd to invite the Reverend Bruce Bodie to come and preach on the tails of that as well. Many of you know Reverend Bodie as a presence in the life of this church over the decades, and Bruce has agreed to return graciously to bring a word from the pulpit on September 22nd, followed by a Q&A after worship. Friends, every Tuesday night at Fountain Street Church is church night. That's a tradition that dates back to the 1950s and 60s. We open the doors of the church and invite you to come and share in a potluck and have events. You can have your committee meetings on Tuesday night if you want. We also play board games and have a great time, and Kate Asarian has done a phenomenal job in organizing that as well, and I want to thank Katie and Linda Wilkie in the kitchen and all the folks who've made that possible. And then every Sunday morning, of course, at 9:30 a.m., we have our community chapel service. That is an amazing opportunity to grow deeper in your own personal journey and develop the life that you have dreamed of with a group of people who care about each other very deeply. I want to thank the members of the chapel community for joining us in worship today at our 11 o'clock service as a sign of all of the joy that can be found within the walls of this church. There's more happening. On September 22nd, the Palestinian Solidarity of Grand Rapids will be showing a film here in the sanctuary, When Olive Trees Weep. There's Alan Chang is bringing a Chopin Beethoven concert on September 28th. The Grand Rapids String Quartet will be offering a performance in October on the 27th. So much is happening. And frankly, I intend to fill every single room in this building every day of the week. It will happen. And so I cannot share everything that is happening in the life of this church, and that's why it's critical that you please avail yourselves of The Beat, which is our weekly newsletter, the church website, and give us a call at the church office. Those are our announcements for this morning. I have a couple of things that I want to say thank you. I want to thank the Women's Association for the beautiful chancel flowers this morning that they have given us to welcome everybody back to this new and exciting church year. The Women's Association, yes? Beloved, I want to offer you an ancient blessing. It is perhaps the most ancient blessing in any of our faith traditions. It is the blessing of peace, older perhaps than the words we use to say it. And so, friends, may peace be with you. It works. Let's share peace with each other. Would you please rise and greet one another with words of peace?
Hard to wrangle children at the station. So, what are you pumped about these days? All right. That works. Oh, that's cool. How did you get down to Arizona? Oh, okay. No, have you family down there? Or you just, okay. That's cool. Definitely worthwhile. We got our first bite of we did a service. We did Hank. No, we did it. This is Hank, by the way. Can you shake hands? Can you shake hands? Can you shake hands? No? All right. So yeah. This was me.
Friends, at this time, will you turn in your bulletins and join me in reading our first reading today responsively? Diverse our gifts, diverse our interests too, our thoughts, our actions, even our faiths diverse. Can it be then, in spirit we are one?
Yes, we are one in spirit.
One spirit in the endless, eager quest. The quest for God, the quest for truth and love.
One believing, we must not be one.
Believing each must be their separate self, unique and dignified and self-expressed.
The endless quest gives us unity.
The separate selves can sing in harmony. When love and mutual honor strike the key. Well, to strike that key, I want to invite all of the children who are here with us this morning to come down and join me up here on the chapel steps, on the chancel steps, I should say. If you're a child, you can join me. If you're young at heart, you can join me. If you were once a child, you can join me. That's fine. I'm going to be up here as well. And I think we have a few young folks with us. I'm going to invite our new Director of Education, Katie Mitchell, to come down and join me as well. And I wanted to bring you up here to help me with a blessing this morning. Actually, we have three very special blessings. Hello, sweetheart. Good morning. Thanks, guys. First, I want to invite all of the church staff who are here with us this morning to please come down and join me here. Yes. Very good. And this is a little while because I have to pull them off of their responsibilities. And we have a wonderful group. Yes, of course, you must come down. So I will. We have some folks coming out of the AV room as well, I think. Yes, wonderful. We have new staff. We have returning staff. But I wanted you to see them and to honor them and to thank them. I want to especially introduce to you Noah Smith, our new organist, who's doing a wonderful job. And I want to introduce Katie Mitchell, who is there, our new education director. And Linda Jones, who's right next to me, who is our interim choral director as well. Thank you. So many human beings, each of them a miracle, each of them here way more than they probably should be, making this place work and function for the benefit of this city and the heart of this city. Our blessing today is written in your bulletin, and I want to invite the children who are here to help me, and it's not hard, I promise. If you can repeat after me, then they'll also probably say it as well. So repeat after me. We are grateful for you.
We are grateful for you.
And we bless you.
And we bless you.
Thank you. Staff, you can go back to your posts now in appreciation. And I have a couple of more folks I want to introduce. You all can sit down if you want. We don't always have to stand. Just because I stand, you don't have to stand. I don't mind it either. I kind of like it. I haven't met all of you yet, but I will at some point. I know some of you. I've known some of you. No, I've known you since you were born. So, yeah, I've met some of you before. My name is Nathan, and I work with some of the other people who work in this church to get things done. But there's one person I want to bring forward for us to bless as well, and her name is Carol Koistra. Yeah. And Carol. And some of you know Miss Carol too, but for 8 years, Carol has carried this church's programming through the summer months with your summer speaker series, an opportunity to hear diverse voices and to tell the stories of Fountain Street Church. And Carol, your work this past summer was a gift very specifically to me, because it helped me understand the story of this church in a way that I can hardly put into words. And so I want you to know that I am personally grateful for that gift. And I know that the people who came this summer are grateful for the decades of work that you have put in. But specifically this morning, I want you to receive this blessing from the future on behalf of the work that you've done. So friends, at this time, would you help me with this blessing once more? Repeat after me. We are grateful for you.
We are grateful for you.
And we bless you.
And we bless you.
Can we show our love and appreciation for everything that you have done? I have something for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. I'll move your flowers. I'm going to have Spalding bring you your flowers, okay? And finally, there is one more individual who I want to make stand up and come forward. And he did not ask for this, but he probably didn't ask for any of the responsibilities that he's had to carry out over the last year. And that is the chair of our governing board, J. Spalding Wall. Let's stand here first. Spalding was one of the first members of Fountain Street Church who I had an opportunity to actually talk with in person, face to face. And you showed me hospitality, and I am deeply grateful for every single moment that you shared with me, and Chip as well. And the love that you've shown to my family as well in this time of transition has been incredibly important for us. I am going to make Spalding talk for just a moment. But before we do that, I want you to receive a blessing. So if you would again repeat after me, we are grateful for you.
We are grateful for you.
And we bless you.
And we bless you.
Thank you. All right, Spalding, speech. You've got to use the microphone, so you have to find your way up there. Fine.
All right. Is this on? Can everybody hear me? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our new church year. As we know, last year was quite the struggle, the second half anyway. But here we are, all of us together again. I would like to thank some people myself. One of the groups would be the Interim Search Committee, who helped bring Nathan to us. So I'd like to say thank you to them. We were not sure what was going to happen, and I think we're definitely headed down the right path. I would like to say thank you to the board members. Without their support, I would not be able to help this church move forward myself. So thank you to the other board members. I know we thanked them already, but I want to personally say thank you to the staff for helping me get through every day and helping me with what I need. So thanks again to the staff. I just want to say thank you to all of you, our church community. Without you, none of this would be possible. And I'm very excited to see this new journey we're on. I'm very, very excited to see all of your faces. Some faces we haven't seen in a while, but I'm very, very grateful that you're all here. And I just want to say thank you for being here. So thank you. Okay. Oh, okay.
For you, sir.
Okay.
And then, I have. Oh, God, I can't forget Carol. My God.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is an amazing group of people that help carry this church forward through the ages for the benefit of people who haven't even been born yet, and we need your help. If you have ever served on the governing board of Fountain Street Church, would you please rise? You may be seated. Friends, we need your help. If you have ever thought that there may be some gift inside of you that you can give to this church to help carry it forward, we need a few of you to please consider joining the governing board of the church. We have needs. We need your gifts, especially if you've never done it before. This is the season of the life in this church when your gifts may be most important. The nominating committee is hard at work finding people to serve in these roles. The committees are roaring back to life. There is a great deal happening in the life of this church, and it all flows out from the governing board. So please, this week, consider joining your gifts to the governing board of this church. And now, all of you have far more important things to do. At this time, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and rise, and Katie Mitchell is going to lead you to character school. We have a banner for you to follow, though. Yes, excellent, wonderful. So if you would please make your way out with our blessing, and we will see you all following your worship.
Good morning. How are you? I hope it's nice to see all of your faces out there. I wanted to highlight real quickly, I'm going to be reading from Psalms this morning, and this is from Dr. Wilda Gaffney, and it's her interpretation. I will bless she who is God at all times. Her praise shall ever be in my mouth. I will glory in she who is strength. Let the humble hear and also rejoice. Proclaim with me the greatness of she who is exalted, and let us exalt her name together. I sought she who saves, and she answered me. She delivered me from my terror. Look upon her and be radiant, and let your faces not be ashamed. I called in my affliction, and she who hears me heard me, and she saved me from all of my troubles. The messenger of she who saves me encompasses those who revere her, and she will deliver them. Taste and see what she who is delight is good. Happy are they who trust in her. Revere she who is God, and you that are her saints, for those who revere her lack for nothing. The young lions suffer for the want of food, and they starve. But those who seek she will provide and will lack of nothing. Come, children, listen to me. I will teach you the reverence of she who is majesty. Who is the woman or man that desires life and who would love long days to enjoy good? Keep your tongues away from evil. Keep your lips away from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it.
Behold, a miracle. Fountain Street Church, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
God, thank you. Once again, I am Reverend Nathan Dannison. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to accompany you on the interim journey. An interim minister for an interim church. And we have work to do together. I don't expect it will be too burdensome or onerous, that any of you will find it particularly taxing, but the church in the interim is the church at work, and we have work to do. And I will go with you. I will go with you. And while I can't do the work for you, I can offer you the only real thing I've offered to any congregation that has taken this journey. I will tell you the truth. So help me God. Now, today, I am to give the sermon. And sermons at this church are deeply fascinating to me. I've listened to dozens and dozens of them. I've read dozens more. And so here I stand beneath the shadow of a great homiletical mountain. And I will simply tell the truth. From the sermons that I've been provided by you all, it seems and it appears that one of the most popular topics for preaching at Fountain Street Church is Fountain Street Church. And while reflective preaching has a role to play, it's not my usual style. But today, God help me, I can do no other. Because I need to explain two things in detail, and they both involve the Fountain Street Church. I'm going to talk about what we're going to be doing together over these next 2 years, and then I'm going to try to explain why we're going to do it. And a sermon is not a TED Talk. I'm not up here to tell you what I believe. I know folks out there did their research, listened to some sermons I've preached at previous churches, and suppose they've got me all figured out. Yeah. If a sermon given in Tupelo, Mississippi is the same as a sermon given in Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's probably not a sermon. I don't get angry at my doctor because she prescribed the last patient a course of antibiotics, and now she's recommending that I take an aspirin every day. It doesn't work that way. The preacher isn't the object of the preaching. If you want to know what I believe, if I'm a Christian, maybe if I am a Christian, what specific flavor of Christian is he? Well, just observe my behavior, and then let me know. I'm just as curious as you are. But today I do have to talk a bit about where you are and where we are going, and there is far too much beauty inside of you to let the administrative details dictate the course of the symphony. As I've been told, Fountain Street Church is a unicorn. Yes, and I don't know how to care and feed a unicorn, but 99% of a unicorn is a horse. And I know horses. No, the technical term for the work that we're about here is anamnesis. The technical term for the work of the interim church is anamnesis. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Together we will endeavor to use these next 2 years in the common execution of 5 developmental tasks of the interim protocols, and we'll do so with vigor and dedication, rigor, ruthless exactitude. But the first thing we'll do is we're going to go fishing. We'll go fishing together. And don't worry, if you've never been fishing, I'll teach you how. We will examine and explore and share in the history of Fountain Street Church. It's easier for me. I'm an outsider, but I know there are mythical things in that deep water. There's probably a few good sermons down there. Hell of a lot of good music. Yeah. We'll be casting lines into the dark waters of the past. We'll wait until something catches, and we'll drag it up wriggling into the sunlight and stand next to it and take a photograph. We'll be fishing for history. I like that. You know God is a fisherman? Yeah? The first developmental task is to tell the full history of Fountain Street Church. You will claim and honor your past, and in so doing, you will work together to heal your grief and hopefully set aside your present conflicts. And then we will row the boat to shore, and by firelight we'll take the lay of the land, because we've got to compare the map to the territory. We'll examine the current identity and practices of this place. By comparing the map to the territory, you'll get a handle on the unique identities and strengths and challenges that face your church. Now, you have a lot of maps here. Roughly every 5 to 10 years, you've hired a consultant to come in and help draw a new map. The archives are filled with them. I'm not entirely sure that you need another map. I think you probably need something closer to a technical schematic. But the territory out there needs to be understood, and so the second developmental task means describing how the church actually operates on a day-to-day basis, where things are located and who does what and why and when, and then from this data, we'll chart a course forward. This is not a philosophical exercise or a vision quest or a survey of your hopes and dreams. It's IKEA instructions. You'll take this data and you'll combine it with the best and most accurate map you've got, and you'll get your bearings and you'll go. This is the second developmental task. Those two things, the history and the identity piece, will occupy probably the entire first year of our work together. And then the third developmental task is to prepare for the journey by choosing your navigators. The third task is to clarify and define the roles and responsibilities for leadership in the congregation, your clergy, your staff, and your laity. Who reads this new map and who points the way? And this doesn't need to be contentious. You have bylaws and policies. The technical word for this is polity. The polity of Fountain Street Church is congregationalism. Through policy governance, and this style of organization is older than America. This work will probably occupy some of the summer and fall of 2025. And this is the third developmental task. And then, church. We provision for the journey ahead by renewing our partnership with fellow travelers, pilgrims who are heading in the same direction. That's the fourth task. Who are our traveling companions? No church is an island. Fountain Street Church is the founder and benefactor of dozens, maybe hundreds of organizations right here in Grand Rapids, but perhaps throughout the world, I don't know. The fourth task is to renew and strengthen our connections to the resources and groups that are out there in the community. And then comes the fifth and final task, to commit to the journey. Having faithfully carried out the work, studied the past, clarified the map, delegated responsibilities, and found our traveling companions, we gather together one final time and commit to the new journey that lies ahead, setting forth once more, well provisioned and ready to do the thing that everybody suspects is probably possible. The journey of 1,000 miles will begin again. And I get to watch as you set forth. Maybe a little tear in my eye. Someone's got to stay behind and clean up the campsite. And I'll take my walking stick and go. Probably take a nap first. All right, so this is the work, folks. Study the past, get clear about the present, delegate leadership, find your people, and commit to the journey. There are 5 developmental tasks of the Interim Church. This is the work that will get done and must get done, and I have every confidence that you will do these things. All of them, because I asked you if you thought you could do them, and you seemed quite confident that you could. Over the course of the past 6 weeks, I have already conducted 100 hours of interviews with the members and friends of Fountain Street Church. Many of you are sitting in this room today. Now, that's not enough, to be sure. There's a lot of you. I'm not quite sure how many, but we still have 98 weeks left to go. But in that time, you have told me a lot about yourself. But you know something else? You're starting to grow on me. Every single congregation I've ever worked with has some kind of unshakable, holy foundation to it. It's an indelible, wordless glory, or a harmony, maybe. Each of the 7 congregations I've worked alongside have been, in some unique way, messengers, sent out into the world, like a murmuration of starlings, sent out as messengers to behold. And sometimes this is what they've forgotten, and then this is what I help them remember. Church after church after church, every single one of them is an impossible miracle that lives and grows and then thrives because it exalts and rejoices and reveres the holy ties that bind their lives across generations. And it exalts and praises peace in community together, and then it pursues it like messengers. 5,000 years ago, a psalmist wrote the words that we just heard, that Chip shared with us. Listen to this. The messengers of she who saves encompasses those who revere her, and she will deliver them. Who do you encompass, Fountain Street Church? And who will she deliver? Well, does it really matter? I mean, nobody wants to go to church anymore. I get that all the time. God, I've heard that over and over and over again. The cynical litany of the death of the church. I have heard the rumors of the death of the church. And I've heard the rumors of the death of religious participation in America. And it's really baffling to me that this would seem to bother the Christians the most, as their mythology seems to require some sort of death before the really cool stuff happens. Anyway, no, frankly, I don't care about the national polls and surveys. I work with congregations. The marketing experts, then the Harvard Business School reports of the death of the church and the imminent collapse of organized religion in America. I don't, because I'm a student of history. And I read the newspapers from 1972 when they said the exact same thing. And then I read the newspapers from 1934 when they said the exact same thing. And in 1880 and 1810 and 1720 and on and on and on, as back as far as we want to go. Humans are dancing animals. And so long as we dance, we will make up words to go along with the music. And the words we make up to go along with the dance is called religion. And for as long as human animals continue to dance, they'll make up religions for themselves. And the last time I checked, the humans are still dancing. We're mainly on TikTok. I am utterly unconcerned with the pessimistic view about the decline of organized religion. And I'll be even more plain-spoken here because we can use mathematics if that's more your speed. So I know a bit about you, Fountain Street Church, a bit. And I know a bit about Grand Rapids, Michigan, the city that you were in. There's about 200,000 people in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Let us consider the people of Grand Rapids, Michigan. All right. Now, by rights, we ought to broaden the scope to Kent County or West Michigan or whatever, but I like conservative estimates. Let's just stick to Grand Rapids. We have 200,000 dancing animals. And there's people at the Gallup news agency recently said about 30% of the people want to go to some kind of church. I know this is Grand Rapids. Maybe the number's a little higher. Let's make a more conservative estimate. Say only 25% of the people want to have anything to do with any kind of organized religion. Well, that's 50,000 people, 50,000 church-adjacent people right here in River City. Oh, but But Nathan, they don't want to go to some liberal church. No. Well, fine. I don't know how we figure out who that is, but then we'll just say of the people that voted in the last elections in Grand Rapids, half of them went one way and half of them went the other way. So I don't think that bears as much effect on people's church affiliation as folks seem to think, but the editorial pages want to concede that, so fine. Let's just say 25,000 church-adjacent people to the center and to the left of the center. And maybe half of them work on Sunday morning, so let's say 12,000 people. But suppose some of those people are too busy watching the NFL. Well, they're not going to come to church. Well, okay, maybe half of them even already have their own church. We'll knock it down to 7,500. Maybe some of them have to take the kids to hockey practice. We're down to only 3,000 or 4,000 people. What is that, 1%, 1.5% maybe? And then some of them probably already go to Park Church. I don't know, dear. Only 1% of the people. Oh, those numbers are catastrophic. That would only manage to fill this auditorium twice on a Sunday morning. I don't know. Oh, I think there's plenty of people. And so where are they? Those 3,000 people in this city of ours who are interested in attending a progressive community of hope without creed or dogma in the heart of their city? Where are these people who want what can be found here every single day? Where are those 3,000 people who, in the midst of this, so terrible decline that the pundits can't seem to stop talking about, where are the people that, despite all of the trends and talk and analysis to the contrary, are ready to dance here in this place? And then join us as we make up the words that go along with the dance. Where are they? I told you where they are. They're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah. It's a good thing we're in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah. They're not so far away. They're just waiting for a messenger. That's it. Now, I don't want to serve a church that bucks this trend because it casts so wide a net that it panders to every possible opinion. I don't want to serve a church that manages to grow its membership because its testimony has become so tepid and inoffensive that it never risks challenging anyone. Or a church that seeks to meet the needs of 200,000 people by tossing the theological equivalent of the penny saver on everyone's porch every morning. Spamming every inbox and cell phone with meaningless platitudes that somehow manage to appeal to everyone and no one at the same time. And I don't want to serve a church that shines such a soft, colorless light that it somehow manages to stay visible while illuminating nothing. However small the population out there may be, whether it is 2,000 or 1,000 or 100 or 5 people, they are waiting on a messenger, and that is you. They're waiting to be invited to the dance, or they're dancing alone, and they're waiting on a messenger with a very narrow and specific message. It's not a billboard, it's not skywriting, it's not a broadband pabulum that's meant to be heard by everyone and listened to by no one. They're waiting for a messenger from She Who Delights, a messenger with saints surrounded, sent by She Who is God, from She Who Saves. They're waiting on the same messenger, in fact, that arrived at the doorstep of your heart, your own heart, who once brought you into the orbit of the very place that you are sitting in today, right now. They're waiting on a messenger from Fountain Street Church. And you, church, you've got to remember that message. And if I'm here to do anything at all, I'm here to help you remember that message. And that's what anamnesis is. That's all it is. It's not just remembering, though. It's wiping away amnesia. Plato believed it was the source of all knowledge, awakening to the innate understanding of everything that you knew before you were born. Theorists from Porphyry to Carl Jung believed it was the comprehension of noetic wisdom. Jacques Lacan believed it was your first memory of the face of your mother. I will work that anamnesis out of you the way a sculptor pulls figures out of stone. So help me God, because you have got to remember the message that you've been sent to deliver. You've got to remember, because I know who's waiting to hear it, who is waiting on the liberation that's here in this place. whether their liberation is going to be found here in silence, or satori, or candlelight, or communion, or wajat, or semach, midrash, or meditation, or the sound of children singing. It's going to be in here that they will find their liberation. Because I've met them, I know who they are, and they're out there waiting. It's the boy in Rockford who's 12 years old, who's terrified to go to school tomorrow because he's the most alone he's ever felt when he's sitting in a classroom full of other students. Because it's a gay man in his 30s who's moving to a city that he's been told is hostile to queer people. Because it's a blended family that has no place to share their joy on Sunday morning. Because it's a woman who's out there who knows in her bones that there are no gods to be found anywhere in this world, but that there is still impossible beauty in the sound of a pipe organ on Sunday morning. They're waiting, and they've been waiting for the messenger that will arrive on the day that's been appointed from the beginning of time. That day. And you'll know that day when you remember the day. When you remember the day. And the church forgets what day it is today. The 8th day, the impossible day, the holy day, the day of she who hears, the day of she who delights, the day of she who saves. Do you remember what day it is, Fountain Street Church? I'm here to remind you of what day it is. I know you remember. I know you do. You cared enough to write it on the walls. Today, this day is the day of her messengers, and it is a day outside of all days. This is the day when you begin to remember who you are. It is, in fact, indeed, a day in which the Lord has made. And so then let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, to feel, to hear, and to understand. And let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. And let us be especially grateful for the ties of love which bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all of our days. Amen. Amen. Beloved, let us rise to our feet and join our voices together in singing this beautiful hymn. The words by Wordsworth, no better you'll find. Number 333, Alone she cuts and binds the grain. Friends, you may be seated. The resources of time, the resources of treasure that you invest in this place are used to change the world. This morning, I want to invite the ushers to come forward to receive your gifts and your offerings to invest in this, your home. And thank you. Receive, O good world, that which we invest in thee. From the bounty of creation, we return to you only that which is yours. For the good of all life, this we pray. Amen. Let us join our voices together in singing our final hymn. Beloved holy miracles, remember who you are. Be sent into that world as messengers. Go in peace. Amen.